Hi, it's Jenna. This is my final reflection after my global learning project, and I just wanted to start it off by saying thank you so much for allowing us to make this a vlog and not a paper. Saves me a lot of time, and I feel that I can express my experience way more in a video than I can on paper. That's just me, but thank you for that. So yeah, we can get started now. Throughout this entire process, I've truly learned a lot that and especially that I'm very uneducated about other cultures, and I found out that other cultures intrigue me a lot, which I am excited about because now it's inspiring me to learn more and more. In addition, I have learned that I'm extremely biased to my own cultures and to my own country, and I think people can view this as negatively because when they're talking about me, I just want to brag about America and being Scandinavian, but I've learned to kind of control that more, which I think is positive. This process also showed me that I'm a very outgoing personality and I'm open-minded. This is also positive, but I think for this project, it either makes it or breaks it, whether you're positive and outgoing and bubbly or not, because if you're more shy and reserved, I think it's harder to get down to details with someone about something that's very uncomfortable because you don't know a lot about it. So I think that helped me out a lot during this project. One negative that I've also found about myself is that I spend a lot of time on very little details, and it kind of distracts me from the big picture. So when Gino would refer back to his family or them making a recipe, I would get caught up in the ingredients and not the actual experience that I meant for him and his entire family to sit down in the kitchen and make that. And I think that was kind of a minor setback, but towards the end I kind of got the hang of it. I've also taken from this that I was brought up in a different way than Gino, but they're both very positive ways, and I'm very fortunate that my parents showered me with affection and they exposed me to multiple opportunities that places do not have elsewhere. And all these opportunities that I've encountered and taken advantage of have shaped me as a person that I am today. And if I wouldn't have experienced these things, I don't really know how I would be. But I just huge shout out for my parents for always being there for me and for exposing me to my true Scandinavian self. And they showed me Christ, and that has shaped me as a person as well. And I just think that it's amazing that I'm so lucky to have that. And I know Gino also has very supportive parents, and they love him and care for him and would do anything for him. And with his Italian side, it's very it's a big factor for their family love and stuff. So I think that's awesome. A few of the things that I've learned in this project that there are a lot of cultures out there that face a very strong and negative stereotype, and they face a lot of racism. And I learned this because Gino had told me in our last interaction that a lot of people always made fun of him for having such a short temper because he was Italian. And where I came from, that wasn't really a thing, but apparently it is elsewhere, and it's sad that people judge him for that, but I guess I just was unaware of this. Another thing that I learned was people who do not originate from America find this country very intimidating. Gino told me this, and at first I didn't really understand why, but after he explained to me the differences from where he is from and from here, I can understand why, and from this project, I've learned how to make people feel more comfortable, and I'm very thankful for that. I've also learned that Americans are very interesting because I've learned that we do multiple things that are so different from other countries, and outsiders find us intriguing and interesting in the way that we go about things and how some people can be so rude, and in other countries that's forbidden. So I thought it was really interesting to listen to Gino's viewpoints because these were so different from mine, because he was brought up from two very strong and morals dominant cultures between being Portuguese, Canadian, and Italian. Just it's a trio that is very strong. And Americans are very whiny and they do anything they can to get what they want, even though it's not always the right way. But I think it's very interesting that everything's so different. I've also learned a lot about Gino's culture of, like I said, being Canadian, Portuguese, and Italian, but I think I mainly learned most about him being Italian. I've learned things from the fact that his family has dinner every single night at 7:30, and this is a rule for Italians because it allows them time for Christ at night, because of their main religion being Catholicism, so they need time to pray at night. I also learned Italians cannot drink coffee after breakfast. This is just a rule that they follow and always have. They believe that you should be getting enough time for sleep, that you don't need something to boost your energy throughout the day, and they think that you should find energy within and not from a cup of coffee. I also learned that Italians don't tip waitresses well at restaurants because they believe that you should be tipping the cook, not the waitress, because the cook is doing all the work. I think that's very different because here in America, like, if you don't tip a waitress, it is very frowned upon and you get a lot of dirty looks and it's not good. Um, Going back to Gino's stereotype thing too, is that he told me that Italians can be very hard-headed and stubborn, and I knew this previously because I do have some Italian friends and their mom always makes jokes about it to me, but to actually hear about it from Gino, because his mom is from Italy, and having her tell me about it firsthand when we were on a FaceTime call was very interesting, and I'm very happy that Gino was open enough with me to actually like call his mom and get that information, because if he didn't, I don't think I would fully understand from Gino because he didn't experience Italy firsthand, you know? So I really liked that Gino was so open with me. Um, but with that stereotype, it kind of bugs me because I've learned that they actually have very outgoing and positive personalities, and most of them have humongous hearts from what I've heard as well, and it's just so interesting how different countries portray things like that. But Italians overall think with an open mind and they're not quick to judge, which here in America we really are, and it's really sad. I am easily able to make connections back to the material that we've learned in your class. Starting with Gino is the definition of someone who has an intrinsic motivation because he engages in behaviors that are personally rewarding, whether it's in hockey or school. He's very motivated in that sense. He also believes and agrees with Vygotsky's socioculture theory, on the emphasis of interactions between children and more knowledgeable means of society. He believes this because his parents forced this on him, and his father actually knew about this and taught it to them when they were very little. So they value this as a family, and his little brother was very brought up like this, and Gino kind of showed his brother the ropes in this sense. Um, I totally forgot to mention this in my last video, but we did talk about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and we both agreed on this because we agreed with the values and the order that we were in, and we thought that everything was on there that was like correct, but the only thing that we really agreed on that should have been different was the value of love, because we've like both believe in like our cultures that love should be above all else, like with your family, and you need to be there for your family. And between Italians and Scandinavians, like family is everything, is valued. Like we are huge family-based cultures, and with this, it was more on self-concept and stuff like that, and we just believe love should be further up. But going off of that, I just think that Gino and I both have very big hearts, and he expressed to me that he enjoyed so much learning about America, and he's been able to implement what he's learned from me about America into his own social life, and he said that he's been getting more of a response, and he's able to sit down and have conversations about America that he couldn't have before because he didn't fully understand them. And that was very heartwarming to me because it shows that my voice is powerful to him and he valued my own opinion. And it shows that he actually took stuff away from this. And I think that's the most important part, because obviously, like, I'm doing this for a grade, but he's doing this just like because he was doing me a favor, and also he made it more about a learning experience than doing me a favor, and that just meant a lot to me. But this was a very humbling project for me, and it makes me love my culture and my country more because we have it so great here, and I don't think a lot of people know that it's so horrible in other places. And that also breaks my heart because I am the type of person that wants to help everybody. I'm going into nursing so I can help people. And overall, I just think that people take it for granted in America how we have freedom and just we're given everything here, and in other places they're not, and it's really sad to hear. But I wanted to thank you so much for this opportunity to do this project, and at first I was very overwhelmed by it, but now I can say that I've learned a lot, and I can honestly say I've become more of an open-minded person, and I think that's important as well because a lot of people live their lives in very sheltered and closed-minded personalities, and I think it's a valuable asset to have going into nursing too, because I'll be with a lot of different people with a lot of different cultural backgrounds, and if I get an Italian patient, I'll understand more, and I'm just very thankful. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed watching all my crazy videos, and I'll see you in class. Bye.